send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Now a hit and a loose football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Now Locke, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
64, weak. Check three.
Back to the air on second down. It's Locke. He's got Fuller. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Working from the gun, Rodgers caught on the right side by Jones. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Check 26, check 25.
He's crossing. He's checking crack. Check 25, check 25.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Von Miller in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up. Spawn. Spawn. No. Check 43. Whip. Watch the whip.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. Touchdown, Packers. Geronimo Allison, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Come on, baby. Let's go!
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Set 90, Wolf.
Here we go. He's coming. Double up. He's coming, double up.
Let's go. He's driven.
Throwing his lock on third down. That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
8, read.
Watch tight end. Right.
Ready.
On third down, Locke. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Here we go.
60 Pittsburgh.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll get this down to the 10. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Under a minute to go, clock running at a back-and-forth first quarter of play.
Stick hard. Get it.
Shotgun snap to Locke. And his throw here's incomplete. George Kittle, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Leo.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Fred Warner coming off a strong rookie year in on the stop for the Niners. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Hey, alert 3. Check 9. Kill.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Tighten up. Over here.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, here's Locke. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Locke looking for Harry. He airs it out deep, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
He's coming. We got time right now. You got 58. Challenge. Close left challenge. 630.
On second down, here's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here we go. Let's bring it.
Inside. Check.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Pull it high. Big grip.
After the turnover, here's Locke. This is going to be caught by the rookie from Arizona State, N'Keal Harry. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Go! Topper! Go!
Block now on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Harry. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Packers pick it up. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Let's go.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, tight. Check 24. Check your hot read. Bang. Watch twist.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Locke. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey, Mike's 42.
Rock it.
Push him back.
Look. Squeeze. Ready?
They fake the handoff, now Locke. They'll roll him out right. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
He wasn't ready.
All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to weigh to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 1.
The Niners on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. This is Mostert. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Ready, break.
Here we go, here we go. Watch tight, tight end's right. Watch tight, tight end's right. Everyone got 4.
Hey, Haywood.
31's the mic.
Blocked to throw for it on 4th. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you, but the defense has all 3 timeouts, so what you're telling your team is ball security number 1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You've got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
Rodgers will try again on second down. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Change, black.
Check. Set.
Check 4.
Back near the goal line. Here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense.
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. They come up in an offset eye. Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set them up with golden field position. Mostert. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Raheem Mostert, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Rodgers now on first down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeForest Buckner, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. A final shot before half for Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go, fellas.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Play action. Now it's Locke. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Check 99. Check 99.
Now Mostert. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. D Ford in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Watch a slap, watch a slap, watch a slap.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Trying to lay one up deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 34. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Check 43. Whip. Watch the whip. Check it back. Slam.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there for the Niners. 55 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Locke going to throw. Being chased out left. And this is going to be intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula's not working. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Rodgers now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw is Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Slam, slam, slam. Joker.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers over the middle. That's caught by Adams. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 41-yard line. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Packers who have the football but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Aaron Rodgers, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks last year. That's the most he's had in one season in his entire career, and he's going to need another one right now. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers got a man open. It's Wims. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, bro.
And it brings up
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd.
50. We are going.
Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Turn it up. Watch twist. Watch
Operating from the gun, Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 29-yard line. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
Check. Watch 54. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
Right now, you got 58.
Kill.
Kelly, don't let Kelly.
Check safety.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got Adams on the hookup. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But it'll be second and goal.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to... And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. D Ford, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Hurry up. Ready?
Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Here's Mostert. Oh, he's got a little daylight. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They look to throw. It's Locke. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. D Ford in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Check, check. Lucky. Check 31. Kill.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And Rodgers is going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. What a gut punch. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points, making this a 2-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, they have to give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field. But guess what? This one's now just about over.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch the eye. Hey, lock it. Now.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. The Niners on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 14. 7 consonants, 1 vowel. Here's Juszczyk. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to kick it away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. Meanwhile, in Foxborough, they're in the fourth quarter. And really pouring it on now with the Cowboys. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. To throw is Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So the victory here for San Francisco,
and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the 49ers, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4-7. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now in the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.